Okay, so before we continue, then, is that just gonna basically summarize some of the thoughts that I had going through my head, really, with the interaction with Elena, really. So is that I get Olivia's thought process, really, of staying the course, of being like a well-regarded artist on her own merit, not leaning on the boost that she would get of attention, really, because of like her is that because of her being in a wheelchair, really. So I completely get that. Is that proving that you have talent without is that purely on that, really. So is that you are noticed for your talent. I completely get that. But the thing is, as well, is that you know you do need the leg up. Every single every single artist, whether they are an actor, if they're a filmmaker, if they're an artist, is that they do need something to at least draw people's attention first. And you know, her as that, and I don't know. This may be an unpopular thing for me to really say. Then, so, but is that the fact that okay, just because she's in a wheelchair doesn't mean that she can't be a good artist. No, of course. I mean, absolutely, really so. But the thing is that there are people that would just, be drawn to that fact, really so. And therefore, you know, just because she's in a wheelchair doesn't change her technique. It doesn't change what she does necessarily. I mean, maybe some of her subject matter might be unique because of her own perspective, really so. But it doesn't change the quality of her work. It doesn't at all. Is that, but it could, is that, but it can attract people who know other people who can make other connections for her to get herself more noticed, really so. And likely the unpopular thing to be kind of thinking about, really so, because I myself consider myself an artiste in the sense of like I'm hoity-toity, really. So I get with sticking with the guns and proving yourself based on your own merit, on your own talent, really. So, oh, but in any sort of creative field, really. So if you want to make a living of it, is that you need a leg up. You need to take the advantage, what advantages come to you as they come, really. So, and not in the sense of like dragging people through the mud or stepping on them, really. So it's just take what opportunities come your way, and I don't know if that will happen in this story, really. So I do kind of hope that it does, really, so that that she at least gets a chance to actually that she does quote unquote come to grips with the reality of balancing her artistic ethics as well as in the sense of like being able to survive doing what she loves, really. Anyway, uh getting back into the story now. On the metro ride back, Olivia leans against my shoulder. Her eyes follow landmarks at the window on the other side of the car as we pass them by. Despite the loud humming of the tracks, I feel Olivia humming to herself. So, what are you thinking? Hmm, I'm trying to put my thoughts together. What I'm going to say for your Dawkins Memorial. I definitely have all the pieces I need. Just having a hard time stringing them together. How so? Don't know. Just needs to be something that will really do him justice. I need a solid direction. We pass under a few bridges while the thought sits. What do you think? A direction? She nods. In that case, I think I have a few ideas. What I saw today, I saw a lot of you. How Iodakin affected you, how his teachings shaped who you are now. That story is amazing. And I know everyone else will love it as much as I do. There's your angle. Olivia doesn't respond, but I feel her humming to herself again. Maybe. That is a good point. What if people don't get it, though? I'm unsure still. No, the more I think about it, the more I think that needs to be the big thing. After all, who was closer to him than you? Even you say you're his apprentice. Doesn't that mean you're the end result of his life's work? Let his work live on through you. I'm sure he'd love that. She smiles to herself. Yeah, I think you're right. Thanks. This really helped. I'm glad to be of service. The rest of the ride goes quieter, just us enjoying each other's company. I try to escort Olivia back home when the time comes, but she insists she can get there on her own. She offers me one last hug before we part ways for the day. As the metro races toward my stop, I think about the future. Olivia and I are going to the winter formal together. I'll need a good outfit and a bouquet if I want to impress her. I wonder what kind of dress she'll want to wear. It might be hard since she's disabled, but maybe I can look into it and give her some suggestions. It's December. Winter in Volcadera Bluffs is officially here. And as if to celebrate the occasion, tonight is St. Hammond's winter formal. Hard to believe it's already here. Really crept up on me. Whenever I'd remember the event coming up, I'd just force it out of my mind. The whole thing has me pretty anxious. It's like a date, but on a whole new level. Like there's some formality to it. I better not mess this up. Anyway, I find myself with a new difficulty in my life. Over and under and around and under and... Ah! I reel and loosen the little neckwear from my collar, tossing the devil's cloth on the floor in frustration. Scanning over the step-by-step instructions once more, I try to find where I went wrong on my latest attempt. I consider going tieless, but damn it, it brings the whole outfit together. And I want to look good for Olivia, because she'd be doing the same. Picking the slim fabric back up, I notice just how badly wrinkled and ugly it is. Time's running out, sadly. We still had class today, after all. Forget it. I have another shirt that works without the tie and still looks good. Dude, I don't think that's... I don't think that's the formal wear that they're going for, really, so... I mean, you can't go in looking like a tech company CEO. Dumping the fashionable noose in my hamper and swapping outfits, my thoughts travel freely. Everyone in the school was excited for the formal. Though Olivia... She looked excited too, but there was something just beneath the surface. Anxiety, probably, for Mr. Yurdakin's vigil. Only Olivia, Ben, and I seemed to remember that, the rest of the school having moved on by now. Ben had kept pestering Olivia about her speech, insisting to know what she'd say. The only thing that kept me from pushing the Stuco away was the fact that Mia would still give me the evil eye from the distance. In her janitor outfit. Ha! She deserves worse, but at least she's out of our hair. A check at the time says I don't have any time to try again. Tossing on the pièce de résistance, the coat, I exit my room and head down for my foyer. I mean, okay, that looks snazzy. Still a little bit too casual, I would think, really, so with, something that is actually called a formal, but, tonight's gonna be the best night ever. Probably. Definitely. I'll make it the best night ever for the both of us. I head through the foyer towards my front door and... Wait, Dad's home. Still dressed in his work uniform, hunched over the bar with a half-filled glass. He hasn't noticed me. Well, not that it matters. As I open the front door, I hear a low grumble from behind me. Back by midnight. Without looking back, I head out. The chill that washes over me is deflected by my formal wear. I can only imagine how hot this outfit would be in the summer. Then again, I did wear a jacket constantly for the first month of school. You rarely ever took off that jacket, Inko. Speaking of, I can't decide whether or not I want to keep the sunglasses with my outfit. It's hard enough to see outside as it is. Somehow, though, it feels wrong to take them off. Hoping not to waste any more time, I begin the walk to the metro. I really don't want to be late, especially not for Olivia. It's the same ride I've taken countless times this year, but this time, it has a sense of finality to it. The rocking motions of the cabin are both calming and nauseating at the same time, and I find myself teetering between positivity and negativity. If there's one night that I need to go well, it's tonight. No dodgeballs to the face, no falling into pools, no harassment from anybody. I pray that Iadokin's eulogy goes smoothly. I find comfort in the routine walk from the metro to the Payne residence. As I stand outside the house, I realize I forgot to bring any flowers. Oh, God. Man, are you freaking serious? Well, a himbo to the end, I guess, really, so... But this isn't prom yet, so I think that's okay. Sure. Whatever gets you to move forward, Inko. Yeah. Okay. It's December, and that means festivities. The house is adorned with a row of colorful Christmas lights. Guess who had to put those up too? It was worth it to see Vinny and Olivia smile like that. Man, at this rate I'm going to get Jack doing these chores for them. After a quick knock at the front door, I wait patiently for an answer. I hear some voices on the other side. Something about being too cold, I think. It was pretty funny the first time, but they do this every time I swing by. I didn't think the weather bothered them that much. A moment later, Damien swings the door open. Oh, look at that! Look at that! It goes well for him, really, so. I think... I mean, the red's fine, really, for Damien, so... I would want something that probably, like, stands out probably a little bit more against his skin color, but yeah, it's nice to see. It's nice to see him in some formal wear. Hey, Inko, you're looking snazzy. Thanks, this is all new stuff. I think Olivia will like it? Probably, but she'd probably be just as excited seeing you wearing any old suit. Well, it's the effort that counts, right? Yeah, like I wanted to wear a t-shirt that looked just like the real thing, so I could be cozier and not have to deal with ties or other annoying stuff. But Mom threatened to beat the snot out of me if I did for some reason. Thank you, Sophia. Thought I'd get away with doing it anyway, but then Liz threatened the same thing. And thank you, Liz. Girls, right? Anyway, come on in already, it's dang cold! He slams the door behind me when I step in. The inside is also decorated for the holidays. Is it? I mean, I notice... Wait, no. Up here. Is that... I thought this was like a row of Christmas lights, really, so it looks just more like ivy. Is the place decorated for Christmas? Sophia must have spent hours decorating, as the living room is a tapestry of Christmas spirit. Yeah. It even suffuses the air, with the internal heating mixing with the scent of sweets baked with cinnamon. I'll have to ask her later to take pictures of this beautiful holiday scene within the living room. Aww, this is a good outfit for Liz. It is. Brilliant choice, really, so. Liz and the Paynes are all sitting in the living room. Hey, guys. Inko, is it true you ordered a... Shh, I think it's supposed to be a surprise for her. Oh. Thanks again, though. It's crazy getting one of those. Yeah, Olivia's gonna love it. I really feel like we should have pitched in more, though. Don't worry about it, it was my idea. Alright. Nice suit, by the way. Why, thank you. Damon nonchalantly takes a seat on the couch next to Liz and wraps an arm around her like it's no big deal. Eep! Damien looks at me and flickers his eyebrows. He knows what he's got. What a player. I should try that with Olivia. Don't. Do not. You will... She loves you, and she may not bite your face off, really so. But you will be punished. You will be punished. I see it coming. Mrs. Payne can't hide her excitement any longer. Aw, that's precious. My little boy's all grown up now. Mom! No, Damien, it's your parents' God-given right to tease you. One day you'll be doing the same to your kids. Bleh, you guys better not be like this all night. Where's Vinny when I need him? Vinny's with his karate team. They're having a big sleepover. Not risking our little rascal messing up anyone's outfits before their big night. Oh lord, yeah. The idea of acid on my evening gown, I'd just die. Damon sniffles dramatically. Oh, stop it. So, don't worry, Olivia's just getting ready. She's worked on her dress the whole week for it to look perfect. Worked on it? You mean she made it herself? More like she helped me in making it for her, even had her own personal flair to it. A homemade dress? Wow, if Olivia helped, she's gonna look amazing. Oh, Inko, I see that look. My face ignites in embarrassment as the rest of the room laughs at me. Ah, it's just some ribbing, Inko. Don't want you feeling left out after all. Gee, thanks, Randy. There's more laughter, but I can't stay angry at the pains. Instead, I take the last spot on the couch and lean back, mindful to not crease my suit too much. For the next couple of minutes, we simply wait and relax. Well, Damien and I relax. A blush is slowly spreading from Liz's cheeks and down her neck. Kinda reminds me of a thermometer. Damien shuffles close to her, her red face coming down closer to him. He whispers something into her ear. And whatever he said makes the Lizometer hit 1,000 degrees with an alerted yelp. His parents are just grinning as she squirms under their gaze. Don't feel too bad for her, though. This is what she wants, I think. Still, what the heck did Damien tell her? No, scratch that. Is Damien even doing this on purpose? Why are we all staring at the red garden hose? I turn to Olivia's voice and... Aw, that's so sweet, really. It's such a simple color, a simple design, really. So, but it just works. It looks so pretty on her. Oh, wow. Aw, I knew you'd look amazing, Olivia, but to go so far. A hand slaps my back hard enough to make me stand and yelp. Randy grins unapologetically and then motions me towards Olivia. Olivia, you look... So many words fill my mind to describe her. I can feel my mouth flapping uselessly as I try to pick one. I look... Gulping in a breath of air, I finally pick... Beautiful. The single word is enough to make Olivia's blush reach as far as her shoulders. And yet she smiles, even twirling her chair side to side so I can take in all the angles of her dress. Sophia said you helped make it? More like she helped me. It's quite vibrant in color, something I've come to realize when it comes to any work Olivia does. So, what are we waiting for? Traffic's gonna suck like hell. Shouldn't we be getting into Liz's car now? About that... What the? That'll be a cue. Thank you again for having me, Sophia, Randy. If my hands weren't preoccupied with rolling my confused state to the door, I would have waved back to Damien's parents. Damien holds the door open, so Olivia's able to clearly see our ride for the night. Wow! Awesome! The pristine white limousines parked out front idles, waiting for us. Our chauffeur exits his seat and rounds the car to hold the door open for us. Mindful of him, I wheel Olivia close to the entryway. The driver moves to assist Olivia, but I hold my hand out to stop him. I'll help her. Could you handle her chair? Of course, sir. He holds the chair in place. If I may? Yeah, I get it. With all the care necessary, one arm snakes behind Olivia's knees and the other around her back. I lift Olivia from her chair in a princess carry, feeling my legs shaking as I take the final 2 steps. Olivia tucks her head against my neck, her hot breath making my skin tingle pleasantly. Finally, I set her down on the soft leather seat within, right next to the tiny fridge and bar. Looking through the back window, the driver has finished securing her wheelchair in the trunk. He gives me a nod and returns back to the passenger door where Damien is guiding Liz in. Oh, there's even enough headroom so that she doesn't have to curl her neck around. Wow, it looks even nicer than on the website. Hey, Inky, the bar is free game, right? I throw Damien a thumbs up. All paid for. Inko, we didn't agree. It's fine, Liz. I covered the extra cost. Awesome! Damien's already pulled 2 glass bottles of cola from the tiny fridge. Psst. That was with his tooth. He cracks open a second one with this minimal effort. For you? He waves his bottle over to me in offering. I decline. Leaning over, I manage to snag 2 bottles and the fancy bottle opener. All the bottles open, I hold up mine for all to see. A toast, before we get there. To what, though? Oh, crap. I didn't think ahead for this. To a good night. And to Ian Dawkins' memory. Yeah! Our bottles clink loudly against each other, and we proceed to drink our frothy drinks. I'm just going to assume the rest of that word was. I just missed the last portion of that sentence. By the time we reach the convention center, the fridge has been thoroughly emptied of its contents. I'm honestly impressed that Damien could drink so much. Somehow he hasn't burped a single time. I don't even try to wrap my head around how anymore. Olivia's hand wraps around mine while we wait for the limousine to come to a stop. Peering out of the tinted window, I see plenty of activity just outside of the venue's doors. It looks like a line has already formed. All the dinosaurs are dressed in colorful formal wear as they socialize with each other and drink from suspiciously opaque bottles. They're not even in the door, and the party's already started. Olivia suddenly wraps her hand around mine, drawing my attention away from the sight. Everybody else is going to be so jealous of us. That was the intention. I smile and squeeze Olivia's hand. She squeezes back. The shining moment finally comes as our limousine pulls into the open carport in front of the venue, quieting the crowd down to just murmurs. We wait in deafening silence for another minute or so before the passenger door opens wide. Taking initiative, I step out into the open as the driver sets up the wheelchair with a flourish. Our ride makes a great set piece, and naturally draws the attention of everyone nearby as I ease Olivia into her chair gently. Who is that? That's Inko and Olivia! A human dino couple? Cringe. Holy shit, it's Sisyphus! I bask in my peers' admiration as Damien and Liz follow after us. There's a figurative red carpet stretching from our limousine to the entrance of the venue. Have a good evening, sirs and ladies. Before the driver turns away, I shake his hand, palming him the necessary tip. Sound of the car door shuts behind me, and I take this as our cue to push Olivia forward and get a spot in line. As we make our way inside, our fellow classmates continue to vocalize their astonishment. Damn! Coming to the party in style, Nito! Olivia, looking good, girl. You make that dress yourself? Is it just me, or do Inko and Olivia look kinda cute together? As much as I hate to admit it... Wait, how am I saying? I'm loving this! After months of feeling regarded as the school's outcast, the spotlight's finally shining on me, and I'm reveling in it. And it feels good knowing that Olivia was getting the attention she rightfully deserves. Me and my Gator slowly move past the crowd with heads held high. We approach the sign-in table where more people in line look our way. Figures. Think we could cut them? Wait, why would we be allowed to? Oh, let's go, Inko. With a nod, I push Olivia around the line and head directly for the table. Looking back, Liz frowns, but Damien simply nods in understanding. My peers in line beside us are watching as we casually roll up to the table where Ben is waiting. Ben in hot pink there, so not a bad choice. The tie, though. The tie is the problem, really, so it looks a little too goofy, honestly.
Olivia! Inko, you made it!
Hey. Ignoring Olivia's clipped tone, I smile back at Ben. Of course we did.
In a limo, no less.
What better way to start off the night? Ben moves a clipboard to Olivia and she quickly fills in her name. I lean over her shoulder and sign myself in too.
Alright, you guys are good to go.
What about Iodakin's memorial? I wasn't ever told when I'd be speaking. He hands over a slip of paper to Olivia.
We'll be doing it at the end. We want to let everyone enjoy their night first. Figured he would have liked it that way.
Looking at the sheet over Olivia's shoulder, I see that it's a collection of bullet points related to Iodakin's eulogy. Olivia scowls and crumples the sheet into a tiny ball between her palms.
Olivia!
I have a speech already, Ben.
Look, I know, it's just backup. Just in case, alright? Nothing can go wrong.
Ugh. She tosses the balled up paper into her wheelchair compartment.
Let's go, Inko.
Right. See you inside, Ben. Below her breath, Olivia mutters.
Hope not.
Huh. We move past the check-in and venturing deeper into the halls of the venue. Ahead of us, an open set of double doors leads to the main hall. Near the side we enter several rows of neat round tables. The other half is reserved for the dance floor. And on the far side, a large stage for live performances. Nobody seems particularly interested in the Christmas music that echoes from wall-mounted speakers. And now that we're here, I didn't think they'd take the winter part so literally. Drapes of white and blue hang along the walls. All of the table centerpieces look like crystalline statues shaped into snowflakes. Even the large chandelier hanging above the crowd seems to have drooping icicles dangling from it. Above us is a giant glass ceiling that opens into the night sky. There's too much light pollution to make out any constellations, but the moon is really pretty. An image comes to mind immediately. Lights dimming, music slows to something soft. The only real source of light is the moon hanging overhead. A true moonlit dance. I wonder if I can make that happen. It would be nice. This isn't the only room, of course. Off to the sides in several directions are doors that lead to other halls and rooms. Olivia's looking around at the other exits too. Well, we made it. What do you want to do? I gesture towards the dance floor. Feel like getting jiggy with it? Olivia gives a wincing smile.
I thought you were supposed to be cool. But dancing.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. Okay, no, I'm gonna do it. Okay. I don't want a lot for Christmas.
No, I think I'd rather die. Besides, somewhere around here is a room they set up for Iodakin.
Right, yeah. We should pay respects to him first before anything else. Alright. Olivia's tail guides my wrist as I push us towards one of the exits. The memorial room isn't hard to find. It's a smaller room, well lit and with little furniture. On the far end, a framed picture of Iodakin and some of his old pictures from his classroom. Some from him, some from his students. There's a few other students here, paying their respects. Olivia taps my wrist with her tail, and I let go. I walk alongside her as we approach the portrait. I wonder when this was taken. Can't have been that long ago. He looks just like he did earlier this year. Olivia doesn't seem like she's ready just yet. I'll give her a bit of privacy. I wait outside the memorial room, leaning against the wall. I can see a bit into the main hall from here. The music swapped from festive to proper upbeat dance music. In fact, I'm pretty sure I see... Yep, Liz's head towers over the rest of the students, spinning and bouncing rhythmically just like a metal spring. I'm sure Damien's doing his best to keep up. You must be having a blast. I'm glad. Man, it's still so surreal to even be here. I never thought I would have ended up on a date with someone at an event like this. I've seen all sorts of stuff like it in the movies, but to actually experience it gives me the jitters. One big night to make the sparks fly. Olivia touches my hand, using the other to wipe at her eyes. Hey, are you ready to go? She nods.
Yeah, thanks for waiting.
The music's changing in the ballroom. Olivia looks over and smiles.
Tempting. Very tempting. But, I didn't actually eat lunch today.
That's turning into a bad habit.
I know. I spent all day writing, reading, rewriting, rereading, on and on.
Yeah, I getcha. Come on, I think I saw where they were serving food. Passing through the main hall once more, Olivia's hunched over something. Her phone. I crane my neck to over around her shoulder to get a better look. She's carefully sending pictures she's taken of her written speech. Ah, seeing the room must have renewed her drive. You'll do great, Olivia.
I hope so. I have to get this right.
If you want, we can find a table first. Then I can get us dinner and give you a bit of extra time if you want.
Would you?
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks.
Olivia points me to the table in the corner, furthest away from the commotion. Just like our spot in the lunchroom at school.
How about that?
You want meat, right?
You know it.
At these types of events, they would either have catering or meal tickets. At least when I attended with my parents. But judging by the sight of my peers carrying the small plates of food, it's a simple buffet. Of course, catering with some 100 active seniors is bound to go wrong. The scent of spiced meat wafts through the spacious hallway. I can only imagine how Damien would feel right about now. I follow the movement of the crowd, letting the finer-nosed dinosaurs pinpoint the location of the buffet for me. As the ambient music dies down, the chatter starts to grow louder. I turn the corner of a hallway and find myself exactly where I want to be. Buffet stations run parallel along each wall in this cafeteria-esque room. There's even a chef and grill in the corner, prepping personal selected cuts of meat to specification. Most of the dinosaurs struggle to remain civilized in the presence of this kind of food. Having skipped a meal, I don't know if Olivia would fare much better. Nearly every station is swarmed with high school seniors. I walk over to one of the few tables in the room that's still open. Salad bar. I'm getting some pretty good ideas. I'll impress Olivia with the nicest darn-looking meal she's ever seen. That'd be great for soothing her anxious nerves and setting a romantic tone. Taking and balancing a tray on one arm, I consider how best to arrange a full dinner properly. Wait. A video I'd watched recently starts replaying in my head. Remember, most important part of a high-quality meal is the garnishing. Okay, I'll start here and get some veggies around the edges of the plate. It's framing, like in a painting. And then I'll go find the best meats to fill in the rest. I start waiting in line, eyeing the main courses as it slowly moves me forward. There's some decent variety. I can really work with this. Hey, mind if I cut in? But, Damien? Hey, thanks, don't mind if I do. Can't you wait in line like everyone else? I did, the first time. This is round 3. No use getting annoyed. If he gets beat up in the parking lot later, it's his own problem. So, how's your night going? It's going well. Olivia and I are having a great time so far. Hey, that's great. Liz and I have been dancing like crazy. It's a blast. Gotta say, I'm happy for you. Sorry for being unsure earlier when you two first became an item. Looks like I was completely off the mark. Don't sweat it, man. Yeah. Got 2 plates for yourself, I see. Smart. I should have done that. No, one's for Olivia. He cocks an eyebrow. You sure? Yeah, I'm gonna put everything into printing it up. That's herbivore food, son. It is now. I know what I'm doing. We're finally at the front of the line. I start carefully picking out the best cuts and strips of the various meats on display. I saw a guide on this once. It'll end up crazy romantic. Romantic, huh? She likes turkey more than duck. I dropped the roasted mallard with the tongs and grabbed the preferred bird. You'll see, it'll be great. If you say so. I'm sure it'll be fine then. Damon just loads his plate up with stacks upon stacks of brisket and fillets, nearly forgetting to use the tongs at all. Ah, geez, brisket. Yeah. Once he has his plate stacked high, he gives a salute and slinks back out of the room. I, however, still have a mission to do. There's a few more lines for things like side dishes. This is going to be perfect. 20 minutes later, and 2 trays of perfectly picked meals are balanced precariously in my hands. Came out pretty great, I think. I even used the condiments to my advantage, leaving perfect dots of flavor where they'll be most effective. I hope Olivia likes it. Here we go. Ta-da! I slide Olivia's tray before her. Part of me is irked that she'd have her elbows on the table, even resting her head on her hands.
Jeez, Inko, you took so long, I thought you were gonna bring back, like, an entire cow or something.
She smiles and rolls her eyes when she sees the tray.
Very funny. Come on, where's the real one?
Huh? Her smile fades.
This is it? Were the lines really that bad? What do you mean? Like, were there a lot of people? There's barely anything on the plate.
What's she talking about? That's a cut of rare cooked filet mignon and turkey breast with scallions and asparagus plus some slices of salmon sashimi on the side. All properly garnished, of course. My plate is exactly the same. And while it looks and smells delicious... did I mess up? Yeah, lines out the door. I'll run back for seconds. Hopefully it'll clear up when we finish this. I'm sorry. I tried to arrange it nice, like we were at a fancy restaurant. She nods and stabs a fork through a piece of salmon.
Well, I appreciate the thought. It does look pretty.
Thanks. Once more recalling proper etiquette, I slice my own steak into tiny morsels, savoring each small bite of succulent meat. Olivia doesn't look as enthusiastic about the meal as I do. I always believe that presentation helps elevate the flavor of the food, but the sight of Olivia picking hers apart with a look of disinterest leaves a sour taste in my mouth. As we continue eating, I notice the coal in my glass begins to ripple and fizz a lot more than usual. Is this an earthquake? Punk. Good evening, you two. Oh, hi, Mr. Ferris. Wow, he looks pretty dapper. It's Mr. Ferris. Wow, I haven't seen him since he gave the bad news. He glances over at Olivia. That's right, he had to tell her too. So he's probably here to check up on us. He's seated down with a heaping plate of dinner. Olivia looks up from her plate longingly at it. Whoa! Hey, Mr. Ferris. Dang, nice outfit. Thank you. I actually picked it up myself. Wow, you're getting some fine taste. That means a lot. Thank you. Are you chaperoning? I am. Although, it'd be more accurate to say, hey, ATF, no narc, maybe? I did not understand a single thing that he just said. Turns out, when you organize an event with 100 teenagers, some of them decide it's not enough and try to bring their own fun. I've lost count of how many brand new flasks I've confiscated. Between you and I, the other staff plan on making sure it all doesn't go to waste after the party's over. Oh, brother. Taking a short break from my own meal, and I saw you two hidden away here in the corner. So how goes it? Is the night treating you well? Yeah, we're having fun.
It's going good. I'm just trying to memorize my memorial speech for later.
Of course. I should have guessed. The whaleman proceeds to bite into... Ugh. Damien was right. It's hard to watch. Last I saw you two, it was a terrible occasion. So I'm glad to see that both of you have bounced back.
Thanks.
That's a pretty stern look that you have, Olivia.
It's nothing.
Listen, don't worry about your speech.
I'm sure it will be great. No need to overwork yourself. Relax a little. It should be a fun night, not a stressful one.
You're right.
Yeah, Olivia, don't worry too much about memorizing a script. You should speak from the heart. If anybody knows how to pay respects to Yadokin, it's you.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem. Nobody else here would understand most of what I wanted to say. They don't know Yadokin like I did. How am I supposed to summarize everything he meant to me in 5 minutes?
Have some faith, Olivia. People will understand when you speak from the heart.
Yeah, sure.
I'm trying to think who this might be, so... Is it Ben?
Inko's right, Olivia. People are genuinely empathetic after all.
Huh? Yep, I knew it, Ben. I followed the source of the voice, spotting Ben as he approaches the table with a wide smile.
Everybody's experienced loss, Olivia. You'd be surprised just how much they'll understand.
As Ben takes a seat, Olivia doesn't look happy. In fact, she looks noticeably more upset than she did 5 seconds ago.
Good evening, Benjamin. You've done a bang-up job organizing tonight.
The design of it wasn't all me. The student council all worked together. Of course, a lot of the decorations are just reused from year to year as well.
Ben skillfully forks several vegetables together into one bite. He seems content that Olivia's actually tolerating his presence.
If I may be a bit open here, I want to thank you guys for being here. I'm so relieved this is all going off without a hitch. I've been crazy nervous myself that things wouldn't go well. Like, if I mess up, I may as well spit on his grave, too. Those kinds of thoughts plagued me the entire time I worked on this.
Why's that?
Because Mr. Iodakin was the best teacher.
The table is shaking under my wrists. Looking over, I notice how Olivia's free hand clutches the edge of the table tightly.
Honestly, I loved his classes the most. He really had a way with teaching.
It's something in his tone. I cannot but note how all his words of praise for our teachers simply angered Olivia. Yeah, he went above and beyond. He was really inspirational. Olivia grunts her own agreement. She's really gripping the table's edge, like she's trying to snap it in two.
So I'm just really glad I'm doing Iodakin proud.
I think I'm getting it, really so.
I feel like I really got him, you know? God, you know what? I'm not doing this. Inko, we're dancing.
My girlfriend grabs my arm and starts dragging me from the table. Olivia, what's wrong? Through grit teeth, she responds roughly.
Just feeling that holiday spirit, Inko.
Okay.
Well, have fun.
She doesn't even look back at Ben or Mr. Ferris as we shove our way through the crowd toward the dance floor. She's still tugging me along with her tail around my wrists. As the upbeat music grows louder, I can barely hear Olivia grumbling to herself.
The nerve. What does he know? Just trying to make himself feel better.
I can feel the tension within Olivia through her tail squeezing roughly around my wrist. A tension that melts away from her when a gentle stroke of my thumb runs over the scaly appendage. Olivia's breath leaves her slowly, the exhale seeming to take all of her frustration with it as she slows down. And once it's all gone, her body goes slack. I have to actually catch her tail before it hits the floor, and I earn an appreciative smile from her before we continue towards the dance floor. Eventually, enough students are displaced and we have a section of the floor to ourselves. I only just now realize the situation I'm in. Good news. I do in fact know how to dance. Several years of tagging along to business parties made sure of that. Even then, I actually looked up some guides yesterday to keep myself refreshed, just in case. Bad news. I do not know how to bust it down epic style. Big surprise. Even as a quirked up human with a little bit of swagger, I am not goated with the sauce. Wow, okay. So it feels awkward hearing is that having Inko say these things, really so. The very concept of busting a move is foreign to me. I've only ever seen it in shows and occasionally from game characters during a live stream. Don't be stupid, it can't be that hard.
Hey!
Olivia's moving and grooving, bobbing in her tail and rolling her shoulders. Wow, I'm an idiot. This is just how anyone dances when they're jamming in a car. She pauses a second when she notices me staring.
Come on, what are you waiting for? Don't tell me you're too refined to do even this, rich boy.
Wow.
I'm messing with you. I know you're not. You're just a dork.
It doesn't take long to match her rhythm. As we dance, her small smile slowly evolves into a radiant grin. Her annoyance after that dinner is completely gone, a thing of the past. Even when the song ends and a new one starts, we seamlessly bridge into a new rhythm. Everything else fades away until it's simply us, lost to time and the world and caught up in the music now. Eventually, the tracks swap over to a slower tempo. Olivia takes the cue to check the time on her phone.
Oh man, it's about time.
She shows me, 9:20. We still have time. Olivia shakes her head.
Not much. I need to prepare.
Oh, but the music just got good. I was wanting to show...
Sorry, I can't, Inko. I really need to make sure it goes well. Be here for me, please?
Okay. I understand.
Thank you.
Olivia takes both my hands in hers, weaving our fingers together tightly. I can feel her pulse beat through our linked hands, and she must be feeling mine too. Her eyes close slowly, and I can feel her heartbeat slowly fall in line with mine. Finally, she gently lets go. She turns her wheelchair and starts off in another direction, not breaking eye contact until she's nearly lost in the crowd. Well, that was it. That was amazing. It's a shame we couldn't get to a proper slow dance, though. Yeah, a shame. A few people glanced my way. Get stood up? Oh crap, I'm just standing here on the dance floor like a chump. I cut through the crowd to reach the sidelines. There's chairs set up along some of the walls to rest in. Am I just being selfish? We just danced for, what, an hour? It's not like we can't ever dance again. Olivia has responsibilities. And she takes them seriously. That's what makes her so great. She wasn't like that at all at the start of the year, was she? Across the dance floor, I catch sight of Damien with his date. The two sway along, carefully stepping around each other. Damien's actually struggling, but Liz holds him tight, taking him through the motions. While the song goes on, he gets more confident in his strides. More impressive is how he seems to handle her neck, which makes the girl's head swoon and melt in his embrace. By the end of it, it almost looks like he was the one teaching her. After a few songs, the lights fade out more. Looks like I was right in my guess earlier. This must be the last song. Fireworks above the building burst into bright flashes of color. The iridescent sparks fall away with each cacophonous boom, some into colored shapes, but most just a kaleidoscope of fading embers. While the song is eclipsed by the blast of the fireworks, I still see couples lost within the gentle melody. Even Liz and Damien are still dancing, ignorant of the fiery display overhead. The last song fades out, and the lights start getting warmer. It stings a little. On stage, Principal Scaler steps up to the lone microphone and gives a thumbs up to have it turned on. Yeah, okay. That looks nice on her. Is that I'm kind of wondering about, like, the choice of the Indiana Jones style jacket, really, so are you about to go to an archaeological dig after this, Miss Gaylor?
Good evening, everyone. I hope you've all had a wonderful night.
The remaining chatter gets quieter.
Thank you all for coming to tonight's event. I'm happy to see so many participate in one of St. Hammond's oldest traditions. Although this year, we have cut it short just a bit short for a special occasion. As you all know, earlier this year we lost one of our most beloved teachers at St. Hammond. Iadockin taught for many years and gave his all to helping his students learn. So,
We have a few words of service we've prepared to send the night off. First, we'll be hearing from our Student Council President, Benjamin McKnight. Ben approaches from off stage, graciously taking Scalar's position in front of the microphone. There's a bit of polite applause, and Principal Scalar moves back. I notice a few students are already leaving out the back door. Pricks. Well, whatever.
Thank you, Principal Scalar. When I learned of Mr. Yeardockin's passing, my whole world seemed to just break. I had known him for 4 years, but in that time, he had become a very important person in my life. He was a mentor figure to me, someone who guided and...
Though Ben spoke passionately, he prattled. The Student Council President made his point, and then some, like he didn't want to stop talking. Enough so that the next speaker, not Olivia, but a familiar white and black raptor girl, only had a few minutes for her own words. She was much more succinct, giving a traditional prayer in his name. Finally, the girl took the microphone from its stand and handed it to Olivia as she wheeled onto stage. Olivia moves into the spotlight with a look of determination on her face. She takes a moment, breathing deeply before scanning over everyone still inside the room. I flash her a thumbs up, though I don't know if she can see me under that bright light. Finally, she brings the mic to her mouth and begins.
Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Hello, my name is Olivia Halford. Many of you know of me, the quiet girl in a wheelchair at school. But for the longest time, Yeardockin was the only person to actually show he cared. The only teacher to truly teach me, the only one to really reach out. In a dark, lonely world where I thought I was all alone, he was there for me.
I nod along as Olivia talks, absorbing her genuine words.
That's part of why I was asked to talk today. I can't hope to say I was his favorite student, but he was definitely my favorite teacher. From a child, I always had a passion for art. And I've had many teachers through the years learning. After so long, I just had the impression none of them actually liked art. Rather, to them, it's another subject to teach to equally disinterested students for throwaway grades. And I can say, none of them went above and beyond the way he did for his students.
She takes a pause to catch her breath, and I notice her eyes still half-lidded as she peers left and right. That spotlight must be poorly angled. It looks to be aimed right at her eyes.
Yeardockin was one of the best, and he was taken from us too soon. But he does live on, through the students that he really did teach. That's how he taught, giving it his all, not getting discouraged by apathetic classes of ungrateful, unwilling students. If just one student was there to learn, he would teach them all he knew. And I'm honored to have been that for him.
There's some whispers around me, and I notice more and more some of our peers are quietly speaking during her speech. I wave my arms, silently pleading she notices me. Sadly, because of that damn spotlight, Olivia cannot take my hint to reel her speech back on course.
In his prime, he was known for his portrait work. Controversial as his efforts were, there was no denying his skill. And though I don't do portraits so often, and though I'm not as skilled as him yet, someone like me was able to win an art contest in just months of his class. Teaching like that takes serious talent, and a serious heart. And through his efforts, and those he's affected, he'll live on. I'll continue to make great work. I'll continue to do his name justice and carry his torch. As his apprentice. That's what he deserves most. Thank you, and have a good night.
Silence. A bit more polite clapping, but also some murmurs from the crowd.
Is she all right?
That's it?
Did she just say we were ungrateful and unwilling? No, that isn't what I meant.
Murmurs grow into chatter. Olivia looks my way, confusion etched in her features. That's it? That's the whole speech? I don't know who said it, but it was said with an angry tone.
That was just a cheap puff piece about yourself.
That one. That was hurtful.
No, of course not. I just...
Olivia's hands fumble for something. The chatter is growing louder as Olivia pulls a small white ball from her chair's storage compartment. Her hands shake, the sound of paper crumbling coming from the speakers. Ben's notes.
To continue, Iodaku was an important member of the community and... Ha! Oh my god, that really was the whole thing! Are you serious? How insulting to Iodaku. You should be ashamed. Woman moment!
My mind is scrambling. What can I even do? The damage has been done. No, it's fine. So long as Olivia calms down, she can have a good comeback. I gotta do something.
You're doing great, Olivia! Keep it coming!
She instantly rips the paper in two. Uh-oh.
Who was that? Are you mocking me? What is wrong with all of you?
Shit, that isn't what I meant. The principal rushes on stage. Olivia bats her arm away.
No, let go of me!
A vicious growl permeates through her clenched teeth. Silver eyes glare daggers at every person still in the room shouting back at her. Enraged, she smashes the paper in her hands back into a ball and chucks it at the crowd.
Fuck you all! None of you knew him like I did! Iodaku meant more to me than anyone fucking else!
Olivia, please! The speakers let out a terrifying noise as the microphone is tossed aside. Olivia turns away from the angry crowd, rolling herself off stage and towards a back exit. For a moment, I can see Damien and Liz among the churning sea of bodies. They looked at me with utter confusion and shock. Coming back to my senses, I run out of the hall and chase after Olivia.